Do customers sometimes not tell the whole truth when they're dropping off their equipment? Yes. Do sometimes they generally have no idea what they did to it? Yeah. But sometimes they are straight up lying, and this is one way that I find out. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. I hope everybody's having a great week. Yes, today I'm spilling the beans. I'm telling a little insider secret on how I find out that customers are fibbing. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of saving time, money, and frustration while fixing your own small engine equipment while watching in-depth tutorials, you've come to the right place because that's what I do. I upload a couple times a week, and if that sounds interesting, hit that like button, smash that subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and please leave a comment. I love to read through the comments, and I will reply to all the early commenters. Now, if you own a small engine repair shop, you know this trick, and you might be a little irritated with me that I'm sharing it with the world, but the truth is, this video is probably only going to get like 50,000 views, and there's like 8 billion people in the world. It's not going to affect us that much, so I'm going to let my viewers know about it. Now, a lot of times customers will bring equipment into the shop that is either extremely scored, pistons burnt up, or it's locked up. You can't even pull the pull rope. Now, although I see this issue on chop saws a lot because they're owned by a huge construction company that has multiple people using them that might have just been hired last week, I still see it all the time with homeowner units. So let's jump into what's my trick. Customer brings in a unit, it's completely locked up. This is not a customer's unit. I'm only using this for a demonstration today because I don't want to bust any of my customers out. But let me show you the first thing I look for whenever they bring one of these units in. Well, the rewind's locked up. I can see that they got a really good heavy mix in their fuel tank. Now this is a pretty good unit. These things don't just lock up for no reason. And when the customer dropped it off, I always ask a ton of questions. When's the last time that it ran? Are you sure that you've been using mixed fuel in it? What kind of fuel? Was it canned fuel? Were you maybe running an attachment on it that it got too hot? Are you using a residential unit, commercially, etc.? All of these answers I write on the back of the ticket. That way I have some history on the unit. But before they even walk out the door, just by looking at it those few seconds, I either know that 1, they're straight up lying to me, or 2, they messed up really big and don't even know they did it. So, tell me guys, from just taking a few second glance at this trimmer, is there any way that you could tell that the customer is lying or that they destroyed their trimmer without even realizing it? Let me show you. Now, first thing I always do, of course, is check the fuel. Make sure that they don't have some weird canned fuel or straight gas in it. But that looks like a really good gas oil mix. I love that tint. But wait a minute. That gasoline mix is super green. What is in this primer bulb? That looks really clear. So to show you what I mean here, I've got my handy dandy little push-in primer bulb. It's got the 2 nipples on it, the suck and the blow. So the return is short. The one that sucks is long. I'm gonna stick it on into my gas tank here, both. Make sure I'm down there in the bottom so I can prime up some of this fuel. That's all it takes there, and let's look at the difference. So as you can see, let's compare them. We've got this one, which obviously has an oil mix in it. And then there's this one that looks clear as day. Ain't a drop of oil in that stuff. Now, why was there straight fuel in the primer bulb, but a heavy mix in the fuel tank of gas and oil? Well, if this is a chop saw and you just locked up your boss's $2,000 chop saw and you realize that you put straight gas in it, you're going to put so much oil in that gas, it's going to look very dark. But you know what nobody ever thinks of? Is priming a dead unit. So it never fails. These construction guys and homeowners will come into the shop with an extremely burned up unit, a gas tank full of great oil, and a primer bulb full of straight gas. Now, whether you forgot and didn't prime the primer bulb after you put oil in the gas, it doesn't matter. Whenever you take it to a repair shop, even after watching this video and priming the stink out of it and making sure it looks just the same, your repair shop is going to know if you ran straight fuel in it. They're just going to have to go way deeper, do a lot more diagnosing, and charge you more to pick up your dead machine. But what's funny, y'all know about my pile in the back. Probably 25% of those units are burned up machines that customers never came back for, even though I only charged a $15.50 diagnosing fee. Because if you've been watching my videos, you know me. I'm gonna make a gallant effort to try to bring it back from the dead. And here's how I want you to try to do it too. So you've locked your machine up. There are actually different grades of how burned up it could possibly be. Sometimes you barely burnt it up and it might be locked up, but if you break it loose, you can actually get it running again. So what are you gonna do when you got a locked up unit? Well, you're gonna remove the plug, remove the rewind. Now, depending on how burnt up it is, you're gonna have different outcomes. You might unlock it and it run perfectly fine. I've seen that happen. You might unlock it and you get another season out of it. You might unlock it, have to adjust the stink out of it to get it to run, but it will, sort of run okay. You might unlock it and it never runs again. But hey, there is a chance that you can save it from the junkyard because you're not going to put a $150 repair into a $200 trimmer. So this is how I do it. First, you are going to get either straight oil or a very heavy oily gas ratio and go ahead and just put a bunch in the cylinder. You're going to have your starter cup right here. Throw a rag over it, grab your pliers, get a good grip, and you're just going to start working it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you get it loose. If you get it loose, let it sit for a little while. Get all that oil up in them grooves so it's a little smoother. Go back, work it a little bit more. Go ahead and pour out whatever you had in your cylinder, put it back together, and see if she runs. Now, if you have a chainsaw, you remove the rewind, you got your flywheel right there. If you don't want to use your pliers, I actually did a video on a Echo chainsaw where I think I had to tap it continuously for like 20 minutes, back and forth, till finally it broke free. But it was like a $400 chainsaw that was brand new. It's totally worth the effort. And it ran when I was done. So yeah, guys, it is very possible that it has potential to run again after you get it unlocked. Definitely try it. So what made me think about making this video this week? My customer's blower. Is it locked up? Yes. Do I think they lied to me about it? Probably not. Did I try my trick of breaking the piston and cylinder loose? Yes, I did. And once it broke free, it made a terrible sound like something was seriously broken in the bottom. I think the crankshaft's broke. But they're not going to want to pay me to tear it apart and fix it. It's just not worth it. Hopefully they can get it fixed under warranty. So hopefully this will save you some time, money, and frustration in the future. If you find yourself coming back over and over again, think about hitting that subscribe button. It helps out the channel to make my videos shown to more people to save them time, money, and frustration. Also, before I head out, I want to thank the viewer that sent me this amazing handmade cup tumbler. I use it every single day, and I hadn't had a chance to thank you yet. If you want to send me anything handmade like this, I love this kind of stuff. I do leave my P.O. box in the description box below. And guys, if you want to see that video where I got that locked up chainsaw unstuck and running again, check it out right here.